Saturday the 3rd of August. So as I was saying in my last video, I have to head away now for 5 days now. I think it is tomorrow Sunday and back Friday. This is the OG experimental field. At the field I had the ponies on all winter, most of the winter, and they ate the clay, and I allowed it to grow up again and I grazed it off with the cattle. I didn't do any topping. And this is the field I'm going to leave them into now for the next 5 days. There's 4 acres in this field. There should be plenty in it. I have to go around now and double check my fence and get them on down. So I haven't looked at them yet this morning, so hopefully they have manners. They're in where they're meant to be and they're hungry, looking to move. So I'll bring them down the lane and put them in here. So I'll do that now and I'll be back. Fantastic. So this is exactly how I wanted to find them. All are in and they're all up and they're all looking at me, which means they're on for moving. So the last video I had them on the upper side of this field and I left them into the lower side. They had access to that hedge and a little bit of a run on the far side of the hedge, so they should be easy enough move today. So I'm just looking at the grass that they have left. Let me just walk up a bit. Now, I don't like walking too much with this phone because it's shaky. I'm going to have to do something about that. But there's lots of picking there all the time, so they weren't a bit hungry, which is brilliant. The warmer weather, they eat less. They like to lie down and put on beef. But they will be happy to move. The bit they're coming onto now is lovely, lush and fresh. So they're picking through them rushes still. And the teefs that tend to get out have manners and are not out. So that lad there, that bullock, that heifer there, and where's our black and white bullock? He's there. Yes, Mr. Frisian there. Oh, there's the lady that gets out, yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of fence now. There's to come down the lane and go across the road. I'm on my own. I really probably should have a little bit of help, but I don't have it. So I'm going to have to do it by myself. I've never had an issue before. So although I've lost a little bit of confidence in these over the last few weeks, but I'm starting to regain that confidence again. So I will go and do a little bit of fencing to make a lane down to the lane, and then I'll open up the gaps and leave them through. So as I say, they have 4 acres of nice sweet picking and access to the river. That will do them while I'm relaxing and recuperating for the next 5 days. There's a bit of a breeze in it today. Rain is not too far away. We've had a few showers over the last few days, but still nice and warm, so we kind of need it. So I'm happy enough with that. So I'm going to go and do my jobs and I'll be back. Hang on now, I'm just gathering my fence and I'm just looking back down at the cattle there now. This is where they were 2 days ago and I'm only just walking over and looking at what they left behind. So the bigger area, and I leave them for 2 days, they're still leaving a lovely trample and they're eating all the best off. So I'm very excited to see what that looks like now. Now that we're into August, I have to start thinking about winter stockpile. So I'm going to be growing grass on this bit of ground here now, which is going to have to do me now over the Christmas and into the spring. So we're August. If I'm not back here until August, September, October, it'll be October before I come back here again, and that to me is the start of our winter grazing. So I'm going to try and start after this bit of a holiday. They're on the 4 acre field. I still have lots of grass ahead of me on this second rotation, but I'm going to try and stretch out. If I can get over 60 days, 70 days out of my grazing now before I'm back here again, that would be August, September, October into November. Yeah. And then I'd be into November there. Now I'm probably just not working it out in my head right, but I'm basically saying that I need to start stretching out and thinking about stockpile and winter grazing from now on in. So you could easily have tightened them on this further. They would have pulled all that out woolly stuff, but I also have to think of condition going into winter as well. So we're on fattening mode at the minute, and then on the next rotation I'll be thinking about stretching out our grazing. So I'm very pleased with what they're leaving behind, and even among them rushes you can see that they're bet down and they've been lying in there. And I haven't done as much topping this year either. I did do a bit of topping, but there's fields on the lane on the way up. I topped to the left hand side and I didn't top to the right hand side, and there's no difference in them. I suppose it's a certain time of the year you have to catch them. But yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Let me get back to my work. Come on, so far so good. A bloody shower had to come, didn't it? I'm hoping that they're all here now. I think they are. We'll know shortly. We're going straight across the road and into that gap. I'll stay quiet now for a sec because the calves are out in front. Come on! Fantastic. A grand morning and then the shower arrives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maverick, you're 12. 13, 14, 15. Come on! Come on, I'm getting drowned. Oh, God help us. I've lost count. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 I think. 24 is that? I have no idea. I'm getting drowned here, I better go. I'll be back in a sec. Now, so they're going right down to the end of the field here. I'm going to take a little walk on through, and I'm very happy with the grass that we have here. Any amount of it, fully recovered. Second rotation after the ponies ate into the clay. I'll walk on through, down through this drain. Apologies for the shaky cam. But I say there's 4 acres here, so they have lots, more than enough to do them for the few days I'm away. Let me pause it for a second and get closer to them. Now, a little scan through. So as I say, 5 days on this, and regardless of what's left on it, I'm going to take them off it and move them on up. So I'll close this off, and it won't be until our winter time, or at least deep into autumn, before I come back to this place again. I have promised that I would do a video on the ponies. I haven't, as I said in the last video, been running them directly behind them for fear that they'd get mixed up and cause all kinds of problems. But I'll definitely be doing it now that I started to have a bit more manners, and I have a few gardens grazed off that I needed to get done. I can then start following the herd and keep them moving and try and grow some winter stockpile now that we're into August. So my last video before I go away, I have 2 calves underneath. Now let me just show you real quick before I go the difference in the ruby calves and the shorthorns. Now I know that little roan heifer there is out of my smallest little shorthorn, but then we have the other roan lady that's out of white Davies heifer, and that lady there is, let me just think, she is out of our small little red shorthorn, red Clare. Massive difference in size. So now that I think of it, that red ruby calf heifer is an aunt of the small little roan lady. So the little roany one is out of red ruby's sister. Yeah. So that is the difference in the size. So them ruby calves have a serious growth rate. Double the size. But she's particularly small anyhow. And who's that behind her? Motherless May. Right, I'll leave it at that. I have to go away now and get a bit of fencing tidied up and make sure that this place is secure. I don't want any phone calls when I'm away. And that's the story with that. So I will say on the 3rd of August, Saturday afternoon, good luck and goodbye.